you're going to have a learning period in Facebook and all advertising, right? Any direct response. Stop trying to think you can just get in for a little money and see if it works and then add money to it. I love to be able to tell people that, but I've learned that's the fastest way to waste money is to have that mentality. Welcome to the Maven Marketing Podcast. Today is Maven Monday. I'm your host, Brandon Welch, and I am joined for the first time ever by Leslie Jo Clark, the chief writer here at Frank and Maven. And today we're going to bring you an episode on the 5 secrets to more profitable Facebook ads. We spend millions of dollars on Facebook ads, and Leslie is behind the architecture of most of those, and we are making people all kinds of crazy money. We're going to teach you how to do the same.
Yeah.
But first, I'm obliged to tell you that this is the place where we answer your real-life marketing questions so you can eliminate waste in advertising, grow your business, and achieve the big dream. And the big dream always has something to do with getting more customers, right?
Yeah.
More people giving you more money.
More people giving you more money, and Facebook is just the place to get it done.
Leslie has been with Frank and Maven for 5 years, and she thought she came in the door as a video person, and she wrote us a thank you letter, and we're like, holy smokes, she's not a video person. She's a
writer.
Yeah, writer, right? She's a brilliant video person, but we don't let her do that because she makes magic behind the pen. Nate, the camera guy, makes magic behind the camera, and she makes magic behind the keyboard and the pen. So,
yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot to cover.
So that actually kind of ties into the theme today. Came in as a writer, and I am qualified to be talking about this today because some of the main points to make your Facebook ads more profitable are all centered around writing.
Which is how you got your job.
Which is how I got my job. Which is what I do.
That's how you keep getting like massive amounts of money thrown at you, and by the customers of the products you sell. So lots to cover. We're going to jump right in. You're going to hear a lot more from Leslie. Can I just tell you, we struggled on this episode because there's so much to say. Yeah. And we determined Leslie's probably going to be here once a month for a while because we've gone through a lot of the strategy stuff with ads. We've gone through how to make the right media decisions, and really the hardest thing to teach. And I've been writing a book on this for over a year now, and it's a struggle. It's the hardest thing to write about is how to write.
Yeah.
Teaching.
It's hard for a writer to teach how to write because
it really is,
there's an intuitive magic to it, but there are formulas to follow and ways to make writing make magic happen on purpose, essentially. Yeah.
So we're going to deconstruct some of Leslie's magic and some of the magic behind the campaigns that are working here.
Yeah.
And it all starts with the number one tactic, which is...
Don't inform, entertain.
Do not inform, entertain. We have forgotten that our job as ad writers is not to inform. That's the job of the reporter. That's the job of the blog writer.
Yeah, I think something really important to remember is that when you're trying to be profitable on Facebook, you have to consider why people are on Facebook. And there's not a single person in the world that is scrolling Facebook to buy something or to learn about something.
Or to get more information.
No, you're on Facebook to see your friends' photos and learn DIY projects and recipes. And you're there for fun. You're there to unwind and decompress and have fun.
I think it's chapter 4. We talk about the educate the public myth. And I don't know how many companies or how many clients have been sitting in front of, more people would buy if they were just educated about the product. And I got to educate the public. No, you don't. You have to first entertain the public.
Yeah.
And you have to first make the public like you. And then you might someday get the chance to entertain them, but only when they're ready. And so Facebook is a platform where they're not necessarily ready to buy, but Facebook is pretty darn good at finding out who is close to or maybe opening to buy. And it's just these words that you're going to use, the entertainment factor, that's going to bring them a little step closer.
Yeah.
So, entertaining. What are some ways you've seen us do this?
So, I've seen us do this. It's intuitive for us now, but I've seen us write ads selling cars that actually don't say the word car anywhere in them. Yeah.
Okay. Probably my favorite example. We have a car dealer. Now, everybody can predict a car ad when it comes across, and you see the dealership name and you go, I'm not buying a car, and I don't even like car dealers. And so what do we do with our guy?
We're putting dreams in driveways.
That's entertaining, right? That's more entertaining than saying, 2.99% financing, or we've got the best deal guarantee, or we've taken the same car dealer, we took his shirt off, put him in a vest, and put him out in the front of his dealership riding a steer.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And just the city boy on a literally a bull, like a 2,000-pound animal, swinging a rope around, doing funny things like saying yeehaw, right? And do you think somebody might stop to see some goofball on a bull? Love you, Corey, but that's the magic behind. Same guy. They had a jack, like a sky jack, one of those little things you change lights out. They had that in their showroom, and we were like, let's just see what kind of funny stuff we can get him to say. And the ad doesn't start with, "Hey, if you're looking to buy a car,
come up to experience. Come on down to James River."
Yeah, he just sits there and he goes up and down and up, and he's kind of wobbly on the thing, and that's the video of the ad, right? We're entertaining, we're not informing.
Yeah, the most important principle to remember here when you're entertaining instead of informing is hide what your ad is about. Don't put what you're selling anywhere in the top fold. I don't want that in your subject line. I don't want that in the first sentence that I read. Yeah, not in the picture. I want that a little bit buried in there. I want to hook some attention before we pivot around to what it is you're selling.
We could have easily called this first tactic just be unpredictable, because while TV and radio, you at least have 15 to 30 seconds you're going to subject somebody to your ad before they either turn away or decide to listen. This, you are 1 inch, 1/2 a thumb away from getting like out of their life, right? So stop the scroll. Put yourself on a bull. Put yourself on a skyjack. We have some guys in Iowa, and we built an ad for them. And this probably the most disruptive ad we've ever ran. And the ad starts with, "All right, Iowa, hide your willy because it's about to be chilly." And we lead into talking about how it's going to be winter and how they sell windows, by the way, and it's going to be cold, and ends up talking about Willie, which is actually a dog, and ad ends with, "Your Willie won't ever be chilly again," right? And so just, it's not that you have to be overly funny, or, well, you don't just have to be funny. You have to do smiles, fists, or tears, right? So you either have to make them laugh, cry, or get angry. All of those things, do it in a way that disrupts what they're probably thinking about you, right? Did another ad in Georgia. We were trying to talk about window energy efficiency. And we didn't say, you can reduce your home's energy consumption by 23%. We didn't say that. We fired up, we ripped open a leaf blower, put some flour on the inside of a window, and we just started the ad cold like that. And people are going, what is this guy doing? And it's the most unpredictable thing. They've never seen that, nor will they ever see that in an ad again, right?
Entertain, don't inform.
Entertain, don't inform. So, second tactic is
make the customer the star, not your product.
The star. If you catch yourself writing benefits or features to your product, you've probably already gone off the rails, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And this happens. This happens to Leslie every day, happens to me every day. We even get in this mode and we're like, oh man, I got to back up.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to write through them. Sometimes
you start
have to
thinking about all the reasons that your product is great, and they could be 100% true. But the reality is you haven't given your customer the clear path for how it's great for them.
Yes.
That's great. But how is it great for me?
Very, very often it's just replacing the word "we do this" with "you'll get this."
Yes.
That's like baseline. Like that's anybody could do that. Anybody could go and find all the places they have "we" or "us" or "I" in their ad and say "you," "yours," and "your people," and implied like directive second person is what you're looking at. But even deeper than that, so you're going to replace the word "we" with "you" or "your," right? You can actually tell a story and put your customer in an experience that is in line with what kind of their imagination has given them, but nobody spoke it to life. And so when you pull this thing that's deeply inside their heart out into the real world, then you've really got a bond. You have spoken something to existence that only they knew existed for them, and then they're like, "You're magic because you did that."
You're reading my mind.
Exactly. So, but the first thing is to go, just have the gut reaction when I start informing or when I start talking about my product. I back up and I say, how can I switch this to be about them? What are they seeing? I brought an example of this. Can I read it?
Beautiful example. Please read it.
We looked at probably 100 ads before we put this episode together, and everybody was like, yeah, this is the one. So, okay. I'm going to demonstrate how you can do this for even the most boring or undesirable products. So if you're thinking, gosh, I sell, like trash service, how am I going to do this? Or I sell like, roofs. How am I going to do this? Or boring legal services. I promise you can do it. And if you can sell this product, which is a rusted old boat, I think you can do it with anything. And so I'm just going to read the ad to you, but it was a 1970 16-foot V-bottom boat. And we sold this boat on Facebook Marketplace for my father-in-law, right? Here it goes. Make the customer the star. Tuck back in a cove, putting the sneak on a smallmouth. Life stops for those holy moments when it's just you and God's country. This is the virtuous vessel that will take you there without question every time. 16 foot of marine-grade aluminum is your steady seat atop the liquid sky. Exactly 0 fish will judge you for the size of this boat, and neither will your buddies when you're slaying them left and right. And unlike those other poor bastards flying across the lake, this boat will leave you in complete solitude. Since rolling off the line in 1970, it's never taken more than a crank or two to be headed off merrily to the life of your dreams, those heavenly honey holes brimming with beautiful bass. And you know what else? You won't have a stupid boat payment to worry about, or some high-tech hogwash fish finder GPS satellite mumbo-jumbo to piss you off when all you really need to be doing is getting that line in the lake.
Oh, yeah.
9.8 purring Evinrude ponies won't get you anywhere fast, especially not home to your wife and the rest of your problems. And that's exactly why this is the boat for you. So what are you waiting for? Toss a box of frosty bush lights in the back of your truck and come tow this baby away into the sun. On second thought, skip the store. You've worked hard enough. For $600, I'll throw in the beer for free, ice cold. Call Terry for a private showing and maybe even a bush on the house.
And all of a sudden, every middle-aged man with a beard that has ever caught a fish is in line
even
to buy
the
your
guys
boat.
with $30,000, $50,000 boats are reading this going, it reminded them of who they were, right? It reminded them of why they wanted a boat in the first place. Now, few key things we did there. First of all, what would the average boat ad sound like? Selling a
The average ad would sound like
boat?
It's this many feet long and it's made of this material and it might have this fish finder feature and comes with a set of wheels.
Comes with a set of wheels, and there'd be like,
600 OBO. Yeah.
600 OBO, right? Speaking of OBO, within hours of posting this ad on Facebook Marketplace, where there are not dozens, but hundreds of other boats that are old and undesirable, we literally had 4 or 5 offers for this, and we ended up selling it for closer to $1,000 more. We had
Double
people
what
fighting
it's
over
listed
it.
for.
Okay? Guys, it's a 1970 boat, right? $600, right? We sold it, I think, for like $950 or something like that. And yes, I know you're selling something different than boats, but what did I do here? We took what was not interesting, which is a 1970 boat with an Evinrude motor, like every boat made in 1970 and since, and we buried that. We just threw it out. We said, what's actually going to be happening in this boat? Why would somebody buy it? And it's like, well, person buying a $600 boat probably can't afford the $20,000 boat. And we listed everything out about them. They don't want a boat payment. They don't care about technology, or if they do, they can't afford it. They're probably just wanting a few more afternoons away from their wife. Love you, wives, but it's just a stereotypical thing, right? And so that's what we buried in this ad. And we told them a story about them and what was going to happen to them, what was going to happen for them. And, beer drinking, taking a buddy out, catching big fish, that's the dream. And the Maven method, we talk about our process for writing is always, who are we talking to, which is what I just did.
Yeah. Needs, pains, hopes, fears.
Yep.
Tell me
dude
what
that doesn't have
tell
a
me
boat
what they want.
that
Tell me
wants
what they
one.
need.
Yeah.
Tell me what hurts them.
Yep. Who are we talking to? Needs, pains, hopes, fears. How can our product satisfy that? And oh my gosh, we talked about how a 1970 boat is exactly the one you need.
So make the customer the star. This absolutely does it. I hear how it's going to fit perfectly into my life, and all of a sudden,
tell a story.
I want that boat.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and you might even get more than you were asking for. Like, it makes people endeared to that product.
Yeah.
Did the same thing. We've done the same thing to old cars and things like that. We've written a lot of ads like that over the years. Make your customer the star. You want to talk about tactic number 3?
I want to talk about tactic number 3. Oh my goodness. This one is super important as well. Tactic number 3 is to make sure that the next step of your ad is in line with the first thing that they read. A couple different ways to make this happen. We're talking about landing pages or Facebook forums.
Or the way you answer the phone, even.
The way you answer the phone, even. Yeah. I want that language to be consistent, and I want the person, when they get taken to step number 2, it needs to acknowledge what you first promised. If you first promise me a free consultation, when I click to that next step, it should speak to my free consultation.
But what do most people do?
I see a lot of people repeat their ad in the next step. That's one way that they do it. Or number 2,
they just say, click here for a free consultation.
Yeah.
And they just take it to the homepage, and it's like, oh, well, welcome to, our law firm, and here's all the things that we do. And it's like, you promised a free consultation. And by the time I've spent more than 3 seconds looking for that button, I'm frustrated and I'm gone.
Yes.
Not only did I not sign up, you didn't validate my pain, and I probably got frustrated, and I had a negative impression with you, and I'll probably go with a competitor next time. Right?
Yeah.
We have a ton of people that talk about like a special offer, and we always want to make sure we probably put for as much work as this ad is, we probably put even more work into the landing page, because the closer you get to that finish line, the more delicate it is, and you do not want to screw it up. You can't afford.
Don't want to lose them. Yeah.
You've paid all the money, and you've got them all the way there. It's almost like a fish that comes up to the bait, and they've got their
took a little bite
sunk
off
their teeth into it, and then you yanked it away too fast, right? You've got to set that hook with them. So I would just go through all of your ads and say, is what I promised, am I validating that again on the landing page? Or did I take them to some, left field?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many times people just don't even, they just assume call. Like they don't even ask for a right call to action. So it's got to be alignment. And I would say over half the ads that we inherit that people are going, this stuff isn't
That's
working.
where they're broken.
That's where it's broken.
Yeah.
And it's not even that I went and wrote a, home run ad, even though Leslie could do that for you, right? It's just that we fixed
the next step was a little bit off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add there? Clarity.
Yeah. Just give me the stepping stones. Show me the path directly across the water. Don't presume I know. Tell me exactly what's going to happen next. If you're asking me to book an appointment,
tell me how long that's going to take.
Yeah, tell me how long the appointment's going to take. Tell me how early I should show up. Yeah, tell me if you're going to text me and let me know when I'm supposed to be there.
Yes.
Give me all those little baby steps that are going to...
Tell me what I'm going to have at the end of having done that step.
Yes.
That's I could make a whole nother tip out of that, is validate what they're already thinking they need. So, cool. Number 4, target in and around your prospect. Tell us the difference in Facebook, targeting in and around.
So targeting in your customer, there's a couple obvious ways on Facebook to target. You can target by demographic, which is age and sex and race, the makeup of the
household
people.
Income.
Yeah. And then there's location targeting. So that's my geographic area that I live in. You can target a radius around Springfield, Missouri, or your business's address.
Right. So X amount of, this county, this mile radius from this address, whatever. Those two things are pretty obvious. Like most people in digital marketing understand, I can go target this to somebody demographically. Facebook does something that's even cooler and kind of allows us to find people that may be outside of or more likely to buy based on
interest.
Their interests, which Facebook has a creepy way of knowing everything you're interested in. They know things you're interested in, are going to be interested in, but you didn't even quite know yet, right?
Yeah. And they do it all based on what pages you like and what people you follow and what websites you visited. And
so for example, I'm an aviator, right? And Facebook obviously knows that. They know I'm into helicopters and airplanes and stuff. Part of the way they know that is because of the pages I follow. Part of the way they know that is even if I don't follow the page, I stop and like content that has the words related to that. Or scarily, they even know the content of the video and they can analyze that. They know things I've posted about. They can analyze what my pictures are about. And so, of course, I get all the helicopter and airplane stuff, but what do I get around that? Watches, knives, flashlights, things that aren't specifically for like just aviators, but aviators tend to like them, right?
Yeah.
And so that knife company or that watch company, they know that. And so they're not just saying target people who have pilot as an occupation. They're going, or a demographic, right? They're going, no, people, we know mountain climbers and people interested in, backwoods flying,
world travel.
Yeah. Those are interests that are in line with our customer. And so if you're selling,
let's call it a roof. I mean, I think that's an easy example. If I'm trying to target someone to buy a new roof, I'm interested in home improvement people, DIY projects, and people that own houses.
Let's go a little step further.
Yeah.
Like, would I be more likely to own my house if I drive a Lexus or a Kia?
A Lexus, easy.
It's in line with a higher household income. Somebody who's probably going to have the money to do that. Think about other brands that they would like. KitchenAid, HGTV. And you have to be a little bit cynical and maybe a little bit stereotypical. We're not trying to be mean or leave anybody out, but just saying what's the statistical likelihood? Maybe I can think of a couple roofing clients that we should be targeting people with higher end luxury cars, right?
What happens here when you niche down on interest-based targeting is that you're finding a more qualified lead.
Yes.
From Facebook. You want people that are most likely to buy your product, and the better you can profile them, the better you can put together what your target really is.
Facebook's always betting on the chance of reaching the right person because it wants to serve you, right?
Yeah.
So if I say, okay, most homeowners are 35 these days or older, Facebook goes, cool, I'll show it to all 35-year-olds in this
radius,
area, right, in this area. But if I say 35 and owns a boat, and you're going, why does it care if I own a boat? Because if very few people that rent have the credit to own boats, so I know they're going to be homeowners. Maybe I catch the ambitious 27-year-old who bought his first house at 21.
Yeah, the cool thing is you can stack interests too. Like just because you find one doesn't mean that's the only one you're locked into.
Exactly.
So what happens is everyone who, I think that you're exactly right. Anyone who would own a boat would likely own their own house.
Yes.
But then you can say, also give me people who drive a Lexus.
Yes.
Or,
And Facebook's going to show it first to the people that meet all three requirements.
Yeah.
Or more often, I should say. It's going to favor that person versus just the age. So the around your target is just draw some Venn diagrams, and we actually provide for this in the Maven method. We actually, when we say who are we talking to, it's not just we a 35-year-old female. We say no.
What's her name? What's she look like? How many kids does she have?
What kind of handbag does she carry?
What shoes does she have on?
What books does she read? Yeah. Right. What would she rather be doing with her time? Who has power over her? Like, is she, a business-based woman that has these types of interests? Yeah, name her, give her a hobby. Like, what is she doing on the weekends? And when you do that, it informs, like, you'll just put this person in your mind, you'll naturally write to them better and write better ads.
Yeah.
But it opens up, oh, well, gosh, I've written about this person. I'm pretty sure that all the people in this neighborhood that I want to target, they probably have, Lexus, Audi, BMW, or, Ford in their garage, right? So add those layers of targeting, and it's just going to allow the Facebook, creepy tech to find them better.
Yeah.
Get you a better anything else you want to add about that?
Quality lead. No, I think that covers it. Don't be afraid of Facebook targeting. Lean into it.
Yeah.
You want to be profitable. Lean into it.
Add more. So there's two rules. There's like you can set up Facebook targeting where they have to meet all the requirements, and I probably would do that way less time than I would say any one of these requirements. So stack them on top of each other versus saying they have to have a Lexus and a boat.
Yes.
Say a Lexus or a boat. Yeah. Or if they have both, great, right? Cool. Last one.
Give the algorithm enough time and budget to perform.
The $1 million question. How much do I have to spend on this, right? Tell us more.
Got to spend enough to do what you need to do. So Facebook has what they call a learning period. This is when you'll hear people talk about the algorithm learning what your ad is doing out in the world of Facebook.
It's not optimized,
Yeah, it's not optimized, a bunch of big words attached to that. But really what Facebook is looking for is 50 optimizations within a 7-day period. And optimizations are really just your campaign goal. That could be, my goal is to get more clicks to my website. My goal is to collect leads on Facebook. Facebook has a number of different goals, video plays. There's
the one that probably matters the most to our audience is leads, right? Is lead generation.
Yeah. So in this case, we would want 50 leads in a matter of 7 days in order for Facebook to reward us and get us out of the learning period to really optimize our campaign.
So somebody on the other end is going, well, how many is, then what's my budget need to be? Some ranges. What are you seeing right now in like ranges of cost per lead?
So,
and then we're going to give you the math formula to literally break this down to what you probably need to be spending to get the best.
Right? Yeah. The reality is that your cost per lead is really dependent on what you're willing to pay for your opportunity for your customer.
Okay. Give us some categories.
Some categories for medical. I'm seeing leads between, on the low end, probably 20, on the high end, probably 50. Okay. Any fun product, any like elective fun product, you can probably get leads under $10.
Yeah.
You have good written ads.
Or possibly e-com sales, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like literally every $10 you spend, you're getting a sale or somebody saying, I'd like to talk to you more.
Yeah. Give me some other categories here.
Legal, I think we're in the 20s, 30s there,
yeah,
right?
Legal's a little bit higher too. I would say like 30 to 40 is pretty safe for what I'm seeing for legal.
Home improvement, I'm going to say 30 to 60, right?
Yeah.
Like that's an average. There's some that are a little higher than that, but and that, what that, just to break that down, that's not saying Facebook's going, yep, give me $60 and I'll give you a lead. It's saying on the law of averages, I have to spend $60 before enough people will see it, respond to it, and then, become that contact that I want to follow up with. So let's just say it's 50. That's a pretty good average. Most people, I think, selling products that have a, $2,000 or $3,000 value would be willing to spend $50 for the opportunity to talk to somebody, right?
Yeah.
So, if I know that my goal cost per lead is $50, and I know that I have to have 50 leads in a week, 50 conversion actions in a week to get that algorithm out of learning mode, so that and what happens when it's out of learning mode is Facebook's no longer just showing it to like all the random people in your target. They're saying, okay, we found out that women 34 to 38 with golden retrievers are more likely to respond. And it's not that they tell you that information, they have a scent to chase after they get that many conversions in a 7 days period.
Yeah.
So back to the math. I know I need 50 events. I know they're going to be at least $50 a piece, or they're going to be max $50 a piece because that's what my tolerance is.
Yeah.
That equals 50 times 50 is 2,500 that I'm going to have to spend in 7 days' time. So I divide it by 7 and I set my daily budget. That comes out to about $350.
Yeah.
So Facebook can be very efficient for the results it delivers, but on the grand scheme of like spending less money.
Another important thing to note there is just because your weekly budget might be $350 daily, yeah, that can be toned down once you get out of learning.
It can.
Yeah.
Yes. But and if it's in learning mode, you're actually better to pour gas on that fire.
Yeah, crucial to get out of learning mode if you want profitable ads.
So you kind of have to have an abundance mentality here and go, okay, I know, like, just expect you're going to have a learning period in Facebook and all advertising, right? Any direct response. Like, stop trying to think you can just get in for a little money and see if it works and then add money to it. I love to be able to tell people that, but I've learned that's the fastest way to waste money is to have that mentality. So I'd rather see you save up the money and have a good, buffer budget to enter and say, I'm going to spend 20 grand before I abandon this because I'm just going to keep tweaking it, making it better.
Yeah, Facebook makes it really easy to waste money too. So you have to be a good guard of what you've got going on and have some strategy and tactics behind you.
Or have
intent.
Have a team that knows what they're doing. And I hesitate to say this because I think some CEOs should, if they're passionate about it, they should sink their teeth into all the marketing stuff. And I think that if you have any interest in learning it whatsoever, you should. Also, you probably don't have enough time to justify what you'd be giving up to do something else more profitable in your business.
Right.
Like, you need to be running your business. So, maybe you have a good marketing department and they need to hear, some of these episodes or tips, but spend money in training, spend money in the research part of that, and make sure you're spending enough to get at least 50 conversions in a 7-day window. And what that does, it's going to pour the gas on the fire, and Facebook's going to get a lot more efficient than it is. So if you've been struggling, if you've been going, I tried some of that Facebook and it didn't work, it's probably one or a combination of these things would get you back to that, because we spend lots of money and we are not loyal to Facebook or Meta or Google or any one TV, radio, billboard medium at all. We do it all. And I can tell you that there's a lot of money to be made for the local business. Like, and that's kind of a new thought. Like, Facebook used to be thought of as this free social media tool. I'm overgeneralizing that. People know that by now. Like,
yeah.
If you don't know that
ads every day on Facebook. Yeah.
Yes. But it's become a real local business viable tool for generating appointments and sales. So, you want to go back through the top 5?
Yeah, I do.
Secrets for getting more profit out of your Facebook ads.
Yeah. Yep. Number 1, don't inform, entertain.
Number 2, make your customer the star, not your product.
Number 3, make sure your landing page leads to the logical next step.
And speaks to the same part of the ad, the alignment. Yep. Number 3, target in and around your prospect.
And then number 5, give the algorithm enough time and budget to optimize.
Guys, put that into play. You're going to see better results. And if you have a campaign that's not performing, we want to do a free analysis of that for you.
I'd love to take a peek at your campaign.
Not because we're trying to earn you as a client or anything. We love to help. That's what this podcast is all about. We are here to help entrepreneurs confidently grow without wasting money on advertising. We absolutely get so mad when people are wasting money, and that goes for you too. So if we can help you get a little more for a little less,
send us your questions. Send us your ads.
Where would they do that?
Is it MavenMonday? What is
Put it
it?
on the spot. MavenMonday at frankandmaven.com.
Cool.
We'll get back to Maven feature question here on the show. With that, we will be back here every Monday answering your real life marketing questions, because marketers who can't teach you why
are just a fancy lie.
Have a great week.